They tried to erase it. They buried the truth beneath ice and time. But he's still out there waiting, watching. The others know. John Pork speaks. The Wiener dogs move. The eye is stirring. In the summer of 1974, investigative journalist Thomas Bryant embarked on a personal mission to uncover classified Antarctic findings related to subject Pudgy. His research led him to abandoned military outposts, missing government agents, and cryptic transmissions linking back to the Eye of Ra, John Pork, and the Diddyler. Bryant was last seen in December 1974, shortly after mailing his final notes to an unknown recipient. His apartment was later found completely empty, as if he had never existed. For years I have chased shadows, hidden truths buried beneath classified files and state-sponsored lies. But my most recent discovery is beyond anything I ever imagined. Antarctica, a land of ice and death, yet holding something older than history itself. At the center of it all is a creature known only as Pudgy. Government officials dismiss it as a simple penguin. That is a lie. Pudgy is not of this earth, and he is not alone. Officially, the 1962 U.S. military expedition to Sector 19 was a reconnaissance mission. Unofficially, it was an attempt to locate the Eye of Ra. What they found instead was Pudgy. Survivors from the mission, what few remained, described an unnatural presence, a being that communicated through thought rather than speech. One soldier, Lieutenant Henry Marshall, spoke of a black and white figure standing before a monolithic structure deep beneath the ice. We thought it was a normal bird until it turned and looked at us. It didn't move its beak, it just spoke inside our heads. We all heard the same thing. And that was when the ice started shaking. Immediately after the transmission, all radio equipment failed and half of the squad collapsed on the spot, bleeding from their eyes and ears. The eye sleeps, the pig will return. The dogs are watching, the beef is lying, the Diddyler moves unseen. Marshall was the only survivor who attempted to go public with the story. He disappeared 2 weeks later. While researching Pudgy's origins, I found a strange connection to Nikola Tesla. In 1941, Tesla's personal notes were confiscated by the U.S. government. Hidden within pages of complex electrical designs were handwritten references to a small Antarctic entity that speaks without sound. One chilling entry reads, "It is not a bird. It is a guardian. The vibrations in its call align with forces beyond human comprehension. If we could decode it, we could speak with the stars themselves. But they will never allow it." Tesla disappeared shortly after writing this. His findings were never released. I believe Pudgy is the guardian of something buried beneath the ice. The US, Soviet Union, and Nazi Germany all tried to obtain but failed. The Eye of Ra. If this theory is correct, then Pudgy has existed for thousands, maybe millions of years. He does not age. He does not need to eat. He communicates in frequencies beyond human perception. But why does he guard it? And why is John Pork involved? Last year, a strange transmission was intercepted by amateur radio enthusiasts. The signal was weak, distorted, but when decrypted, it contained a single chilling message. "Do not trust the beef, the minion holds the scroll. Pudgy knows the way." I ran voice pattern analysis comparing this transmission to the intercepted John Pork FaceTime calls from later decades. It was a match. John Pork was trying to warn us. But warn us of what? Through my research, I have uncovered connections between Pudgy, the Wiener dogs, and an entity known only as the Diddyler. The Wiener dogs are real. They were used by secret military programs to detect and track ancient artifacts. Pudgy fears the Diddyler. His last known vocalization matched the encrypted phrase spoken in the 1962 expedition logs. The Diddyler moves unseen. Nathaniel Beef is erasing history. Evidence of Pudgy's existence is being scrubbed from public records. Tesla's notes confirm that Pudgy's call contains a hidden code. If we can decipher it, we might finally understand the true purpose of the Eye of Ra. Since publishing my last inquiry into Pudgy's origins, I have been receiving strange calls from unknown numbers. 3 days ago, I was followed by a black vehicle with no license plates. Last night, someone broke into my apartment. They took my notes but left everything else untouched. I fear I may be too close to the truth. If anything happens to me, remember this. Pudgy is not just a penguin. The Wiener dogs are still watching. The Eye of Ra cannot be allowed to open. The Diddyler is moving. John Pork tried to warn us. Do not let them erase me. In 1974, journalist Thomas Bryant vanished without a trace. His apartment was completely emptied with no signs of struggle. The only thing left behind was this manuscript. Authorities never investigated. His family was told to forget. Decades later, Bryant's name was completely erased from public records. His final words, Pudgy watches. The eye sleeps, the game is not over. End of document, file recovered from unknown source. Warning, document subject to erasure protocols.